everybody, it is Christine here again with the Co-Living Code. We have Josh Martin, who is the head of business development at Outsite, which I know a lot of people know about Outsite. You guys are globally known, and I've had a lot of friends stay at some of your guys' properties, especially the ones in San Diego and Los Angeles. Josh actually also used to work at Remote Year. So he was with them for about a year and a half. Now he's been with the Outsite team, heading up all of their fast growth for the past year. So let's go ahead and bring you in and just kind of talk about like how you got into this world of remote work and digital nomads and co-living. So yeah, let's take it away, Josh.
Yeah, thank you. So it's been a really fun road. It's kind of wild to think it's only been 2 years, but they've raced by. I used to work before any of this started at Yelp, actually, as just a lowly sales rep, and that was kind of where my sales career started. I liked the job. It gave me some really solid training, but I hit a certain wall when I realized how much I don't like working in offices. And I started to think like there must be a way to solve this, because every aspect of my job that I do on a day-to-day basis, I could do from anywhere. I just need an internet connection and a phone. So I started thinking of how I could do that. Turned out Yelp wasn't the best fit to continue working that way. They weren't open to a remote arrangement. So I looked into remote jobs, and literally the first one I found was Remote Year. Saw that was obviously fully a remote position, but also that it was kind of evangelizing this whole remote work movement. So got really excited, applied right away, got a call back in a few weeks, and then a few weeks after that, I was flying to Portugal, and the rest is history. Traveled the world with them, and eventually met Emmanuel in Portugal, and got connected to Outsite.
Yeah, and then Emmanuel started originally in Santa Cruz, so maybe you could touch on that too. How long ago did he start again with Outsite?
Yeah, about 3 years. I think his actual journey probably started a lot before that, but Outsite itself, roughly 3 years. And basically, it started off with one simple house. I think it might have been the house he was living in at the time, and he sort of tested the concept of, this is something that I want. I want a place where I can get great work done, but also be near the ocean. He's a big surfer. A lot of people at Outsite are big surfers. And I want access to all of that while still being really productive at my job. So how can I create a space where that's possible? So we tested the concept. It was wildly successful in Santa Cruz, and then just scaled outward from there to the growth that we have now.
Yeah, and let's talk about that growth. So how many properties globally do you guys have total now? I know the number's changing quickly.
Yeah, totally. We have 16 properties in 11 locations worldwide, and basically massive expansion plans for 2019. We're probably looking at adding a location every couple of months at least, in Europe, in North America, and South America as well.
Nice. And then what seemed out of your portfolio now that you guys have globally, what locations are probably the most booked?
So I'd say it varies a bit, but there are just some very popular U.S. cities that a lot of people need to be at for work, need to stay for either long-term or short-term. I'd probably say that Venice Beach, specifically the Dell House, you're rarely going to see that one not booked, as well as our East Williamsburg house in New York City.
Nice. I know, and I still have to make Venice. It's right down the street, and I still haven't made it over there yet. I need to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Do a showing.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, then, so, do you personally, have you lived in any of the concepts, or do you stay at them when you travel?
I certainly stay at them when I travel. I love the Santa Cruz location. That's the closest one to me here in the Bay Area, aside from San Francisco, obviously. And I go there any chance I get, just to be near the water, to kind of get rejuvenated, to experience something new. I also love the New York location, and I've been to the Lisbon one as well. The houses themselves are pretty consistent across the different properties. But of course, you're in this brand new, beautiful city, and you're surrounded by cool people.
And then what's the average stay typically for the people? Because I know you guys, is it a 3-night minimum?
It's 3 nights in some locations and 2 nights in others. The average stay, I'd say probably around a couple of weeks. But obviously, we're open to people staying longer. We have long-term stays available. We have this whole program we just launched called Outsite, where you can stay for 3 months, get a special rate. Or obviously, if people need to just stay for a few nights, that's fine with us as well.
Awesome. And then what demographic, like, do you guys have business? Does it depend on the location? Is it, like you said, digital nomads, but is it business professionals? What's the age demographic, male, female?
Yeah. I'd say we're right around a 50-50 split in terms of male, female. In terms of the average age, we just discovered it's 34.
Okay.
But obviously people from all ages use Outsite. I wouldn't want anybody to think that just because they're a little older, they can't use the platform as well, or even a little younger. In terms of like walks of life, spanning from your typical digital nomad careers like digital marketing and computer programming, but also things that you'd never expect to be able to do remotely, like running a brick and mortar business or a nonprofit. I've seen basically everything in terms of career types. Was that?
Yeah. No, that was everything.
Okay,
No, that was
cool.
perfect, Josh. You nailed it. Good job. So also, because remote year comes up a lot, especially in the world of co-living, in the world of digital nomads, and this world that we live in, everybody talks about remote year.
Yeah.
So what are or do you find people doing their own version of remote year, but with the Outsite properties where they're kind of jumping around?
Yeah, absolutely. To capitalize on that, and I mean, just to encourage that, we recently launched our Outsite Trips program, which is basically a way to build your own remote year, or build your own travel program, basically, where you can pick 3 locations, and in a set period of time, you can bounce around to those different 3 locations. And obviously there's, going to be a bunch of other people doing it as well, but maybe in different orders as you. So it's a little bit more of a self-serve model. But we found that a lot of people do like to travel that way.
I love that. No, and you're exactly right. So they want the flexibility and freedom to like jump around. Yeah. I know remote year, because didn't it originally start like you committed to the entire year, and didn't that and then they shortened it, right?
Yeah, I just think as they grew, they just kept adding more options for people. So obviously the hallmark product is the year-long program, but also offer I think 3-month and 1-month programs.
Cool. Yeah. No, I think the flexibility is key, and I love that Outsite is offering kind of their own version of that. And then let's see here. So what's you're like head of business development, so you're kind of really pivotal in the fast growth Outsite. Like, what are some of your favorite parts about co-living in general and just the industry?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the people. I know everyone says that, but really, when you're in a business like this, you're building community. You're not just building physical spaces. So it kind of pays off when I get to go to a location like Santa Cruz and just meet 3 new friends right off the bat, because people are so community minded if they're going to travel to a place like Outsite. So I think my favorite part about the co-living space is that it's just fostering that. It's fostering great connections between people. And yeah, that's probably the most rewarding aspect of my job.
And I know you guys do. Maybe talk about some of the events. I already know you guys host tons of events at the different properties. What types of events do you guys host?
Yeah, totally. So we have kind of events that span locations. Like I run an event called Nomad Stories, which is a time for people living this lifestyle to kind of get together and chat about their experiences. And we run that at multiple Outsite locations. You're also going to have kind of location-specific types of events. Like I know Britt, our community manager in Santa Cruz, recently did a escape weekend where everybody got out and unplugged for a while and did a camping trip. He also did a sustainability week. Our community manager in Venice Beach runs like food tastings and cooking workshops and fun things like that, like almost every night, I want to say. So it totally depends on that community manager's unique style and, of course, the city that they're in.
Yeah, because some are probably more active. Well, I heard actually it's Christina at the Venice. Is she the one that does most of the Venice Beach? Okay.
She does everything. Yeah.
Okay. They said that she's like, that I definitely need to meet her, because she does throw tons of events at the houses.
Yeah.
So I love that. And then you guys do, because I've been to some of your events, the San Diego, you guys had a San Diego launch party that was amazing. I was there.
Hmm.
So you guys even invite outside people in, to experience those events, right? It's not just strictly for, or maybe it's event specific. Is it only for your
Yeah.
members, or can the outside people join in sometimes?
We do have the occasional event that we launch just for members, but for the most part, a lot of our events are just open to the general public. And I'd say that's how the majority of people find out about Outside, is just you know lucking into going to an event, meeting some cool people, seeing a property, and realizing that they want to get involved.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And then I have two questions left. So one is, again, you talked about, you guys are looking at opening, one property every two, so 6 next year, you think, at least?
Yeah, I'd say at least. It really does depend on finding. We have somebody on our team, as I think who you've met, whose full-time job it is to sort of source these properties and find ones that are perfect fit for what we do. So we have a pretty high capacity for expanding. We just are really particular about the houses that we choose to add to our network. So if we can find more than 6 next year, my guess is we'll probably launch more than 6.
Yeah. Okay. And let's talk about the houses themselves. So every property, and everybody, obviously people can check out your website,
Yeah.
but these are single family, like large single family homes with
Mm-hmm.
multiple bedrooms. You guys typically look for like 6, 7 bedroom houses.
Yeah, right around that size. Our most common room offering is a single room with a shared bathroom, but of course, just like any house, there's always a master bedroom with its own bathroom. There's usually a shared room in every house as well. And then we always look for something with a big common area that we can turn into a workspace, as well as a kitchen that guests can use to cook.
Awesome. Cool. And yeah, and I love that. And that really, yeah, that makes just kind of a unique, it's not the multi-unit, where everybody has
Yeah.
separate studios. Like this is actually like people are co-living under one roof. So
Yeah.
I love that model. And then, so my last question is like, Josh, where do you see co-living, and you've been in this space for a couple of years now, going in the
Yeah.
future, just in general as an industry?
Yeah, definitely. For the most part, I would say I see it getting larger, and I see it being less of an exotic concept right now. We're seeing this whole concept of the digital nomad as this kind of enigma who gets to live this amazing life and travel to exotic countries. I think we're going to start seeing more of that type of life happening, right here in the United States, with professionals wanting to just live in a more communal atmosphere and not feel so isolated from other like-minded people.
Awesome. And do you think the short-term leases, or just the short-term stays, like less of a commitment, is going to be more commonplace too, like not signing year-long leases in one location?
Yeah, I think the lease is on its way out.
I think you're right. All my friends are using
Yeah.
Airbnb now for everything.
Yeah.
Like, they'll just they don't want to even sign any lease. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll just book an Airbnb for a couple months."
Yeah. Why would I?
Yeah, exactly. So, well, good stuff. Well, thank you so much, Josh. I'm so glad we finally got somebody. I know Emmanuel's so busy. So, I was like, hey, any of you guys, like Josh, Brandon, Emmanuel, like we got to get at least one of you guys on the show, because everybody always talks about Outsite. I love what you guys are doing. I think Emmanuel started his Santa Cruz. I think he was like putting it on Airbnb back in the day. As like a work live place. And I saw it on Airbnb. I mean, this is probably like 6 years ago. And I just thought, what a cool concept, and now it's a full-fledged business, and you guys are out raising money and growing like crazy. And it's exciting to see, for sure. So appreciate what you guys are doing. And we'll have all your contact information on the show notes here. So if people want to check you guys out, stay at a location for a couple days. I know when we book out, I'm always like, okay, you guys could stay at Outsite down the street in Venice Beach. When we have friends come in town, where we can't house them. So it's just a great partnership. You guys are always so available and helpful. And so thanks again for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.